Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a lifted Hyundai Santa Cruz. Before we get into this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Murdoch Hyundai here in Linden, Utah for giving me some time with this Santa Cruz. This particular one is still available for sale, so I'll include a link to their inventory in the description down below if you're interested. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Now, first off, we got to see if this Santa Cruz has enough power to push the tires that it now has. It has a turbocharged 2.5 liter 4-cylinder paired to an 8-speed dual clutch automatic transmission under the hood. Fuel economy with this powertrain stock is 22 around town, 27 on the highway. Power output's 281 horsepower and then 311 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with the review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now, first off, when it comes to front end styling with the Santa Cruz after it's been lifted, it does look a little bit taller, but overall, obviously it hasn't changed a massive amount, but it is pretty cool to just see the beefy tires poking out with the front end. And speaking of beefy tires, the setup is 265, 65, 18 in the front and over in the rear as well. I mean, this is a pretty large setup, again, especially for the size that the Santa Cruz is. Anyways, you guys can see stock wheels, which I think look fantastic because they're all blacked out. And I mean, these are really aggressive, knobby tires, as you can see. Now, for those of you that are wondering, this is a 2-inch lift, as you can hopefully kind of see with that shot. Now, something also to mention is this build isn't done. They are going to add spacers to this as well, so we're like 50% done, right? But regardless, when you look at this from the side view, it just looks absolutely killer. I mean, I did not know that a Santa Cruz could look this aggressive. And then here's the truck from the rear as well. Again, it just sits taller, and so it just looks so cool. Like this looks like a real pickup truck, that's for sure. And for those of you wondering, accessing the bed with the lift and the tires is not a problem whatsoever. Like, it's still super easy to access the Santa Cruz's bed, so that's completely fine. I mean, look at this. Lift it up, and I mean, you do have the bumper steps which help out. And then let's quickly see with, well, I guess popping in here or squeezing in. So, yeah, it's honestly like super easy, but I will say I am kind of cramped here because the driver's seat's pushed back a little bit. But what I'm trying to make here is you can get in and out pretty easily. Okay, so the base Santa Cruz that this is built off of is an SEL Premium. Again, that's why it's got the turbocharged engine. But here is the MSRP before the lift and everything, $39,290. And then you guys can see that we've got the tires added on, powder coated the wheels, that's why they're all blacked out, and then you got window tint as well. After everything's been added to this, $42,579. And with that being said, let's take it out, drive it, see how this performs with the lift and the tires, and also see what the fuel economy is with these more aggressive tires. Okay, so you guys can see we've got our fuel economy computer reset and everything, and I guess we'll talk about visibility quickly so you can kind of see through the mirrors. It is quite snowy today and throughout the rest of the rear, and I will be turning on my heated seats because I think it's like, oh, it says 32 degrees. I was gonna say I think it's like 20 something degrees, but I guess it's 32 degrees, so maybe it's warmed up a little bit. That's good for my fingers so they don't freeze off. But anyways, initially setting off, it's actually really smooth. Like the tires actually kind of smooth things out compared to a regular Santa Cruz. Regular Santa Cruz is really comfortable, but like whenever you have more sidewall, it kind of acts as like a secondary shock absorber, so it smooths things out a little bit. The torque's handling these tires fine. I don't know if I'd put this setup on a Santa Cruz without the turbocharged engine, but with this turbo engine, it's doing just fine so far. And it's really smooth. This is great for this is a great video to film for today, so I don't have to spend as much time outside. Okay, no, I'm not gonna have that on. Yeah, going through that little like pothole there, it did great. Now, I wonder if the spacers that get put on this will make it drive any different, but I will say this drives really nice how it is. handling still, I mean, it still drives like a Santa Cruz. Again, it's a unibody vehicle, right? So it's got those characteristics where it handles really well. So far we're getting just under 10 miles per gallon. Hopefully we can increase that closer to that 19 to, did I say 22, 27? It's 19 around town, 22 is the average. Oh boy, so there we go. There's a mistake in the video. So it's 19 around town, 27 on the highway. I don't know why I said 22, but whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, this engine can like handle these tires just fine. It's honestly not a problem whatsoever. Let's keep going up this hill a bit and see how it handles going uphill a little bit. Yeah, see, I don't think the power is going to be a problem whatsoever. I really don't. Yeah, and it's handling the bumps and everything a little bit better than what it would do stock. It's pretty cool. So I'm gonna pop it into sport mode here. Yeah, it stops fine as well. Like, that is completely that was partial throttle. Man, it moves. That's for sure. So it is staying in a little bit of a lower gear to keep us going up this hill. So that's pretty interesting. I mean, it handled it fine though, honestly. Now it's downshifted. Quite impressive indeed, to be honest, with the driving characteristics. I want to get like one more acceleration for you guys, and then we'll kind of cap things off, and then at the very end I'll give you guys a little clip of, you know, what the fuel economy is. Well, we're gonna pop it back into sport mode and we'll get another acceleration here. Oh yeah, this thing moves. This thing moves. That is for sure. It can definitely move these tires. That is not a problem whatsoever. So to sum things up here with this lifted Hyundai Santa Cruz, I think it drives really well. Suspension's very comfortable. It doesn't run, like, it still feels like it handles really well. It doesn't mess up with the handling dynamics, and it helps out with the compression a little bit because, again, you've got that extra sidewall. So overall, I'd say that lifting it seems like it's a positive. I do want to see the final fuel economy rating once we get back to the dealership to see if that, you know, is really good, if it's really bad, like what exactly happens there. Yeah, like over these little bumps, these larger tires definitely help out quite a bit. So the driving, it's pretty dialed in. Okay, so obviously not the longest drive on the planet, 3.2 miles, but you know, pretty good around town driving, 16.3 miles, well, 16.2 now, I guess, miles per gallon, which again, with the rating being 19, I mean, it's obviously less, but it's not that much less. Cap things off, I'm actually pretty dang impressed with how well the Santa Cruz handles more aggressive tires and a lift. Like, it still drives really well. It gets, you know, less fuel economy than what you're gonna get stock, but it's not that much less. So I think that part of it's also really impressive. And you guys, if you follow the channel, you know that I reviewed a lifted Honda Ridgeline earlier in the, I think it was earlier this year or last year, I can't remember, I reviewed so many cars. But this kind of reminds me of that because that's also a unibody vehicle with a truck bed, and that drove really well too. And so it's like, you know, people call these like fake trucks or whatever, but like now with this lift and everything, I mean, this really does look like a real pickup truck. But let me know what you think about the Santa Cruz lifted, and let me know if this makes the Santa Cruz more appealing to you as a buyer. I'll see you.